right, let's take a look at some factoring. So this is the difference of squares. The steps are here. I would write those steps down if you don't already know them. Move everything to one side of the equal sign. So right here, when you look at the top, we do not have everything on the equal side. So we're going to subtract 50x on both sides. Step 2 is to find the greatest common factor. In this case, our greatest common factor is 8x. When we pull 8x out from 8x cubed minus 72x, we get x squared minus 9. That is our difference of squares. X squared is a squared, so is 9. See if the equation fits into the form of a squared minus b squared. We said that it does inside the parentheses here. X squared is our a squared, and minus 9 is our b squared. So yes, it does fit into the parentheses. Step 4 is identify the a and b. If a squared is equal to x squared and b squared is equal to 9, then a is just equal to x, and the square root of 9 is 3. So b is equal to 3. Step 5 is since a squared minus b squared goes to a plus b times a minus b, we're going to write it into our form. That 8x comes straight down. We're just writing the inside of the parentheses in there. So a was x, so x goes in the first part of both. B was 3, so 3 goes in the second part of both. Okay, so if we did all of that, it would come right back to what it was originally. So this is our factored form right here, the 8x parentheses x plus 3 parentheses x minus 3. Alright, so taking a look at our next page. The difference of squares, so let's do this one together. Step 1 is to move everything to one side of the equal sign. So we need to subtract 16 from the right-hand side. Okay, so we subtract 16 from the right-hand side. We're going to also subtract it from the left-hand side. That will leave us with 49y squared minus 16 equals 0. So step 2 is to find the greatest common factor. The greatest common factor between 49 and 16 is nothing. So we can skip step 2. Step 3, see if the equation fits into the form of a squared minus b squared. 49 is a square, y squared is a square, and 16 is a square. So it does fit into the form. So let's write it as our a squared equals 49y squared, and our b squared equals 16. So in order to find just a and just b, I need to take the square root of each. So the square root of 49 is 7, and the square root of y squared is just y. The square root of 16 is just 4. So that gave us our identify the a and b. Step 5 is to plug it into our formula. So we know that in the first parentheses, it's a plus b, so 7y plus 4. The second set of parentheses is a minus b, so 7y minus 4. And that would be our factored form there. When we multiply those out, we should get our original equation. So again, our factored form is here. So now let's talk about the sum and difference of cubes. So this one is going to be a difference of cubes. So move everything to one side of the equal sign. So subtract 54 on both sides. So we get 2x cubed minus 54 equals 0. Now that we have everything to one side of the equal sign, we would look for a greatest common factor. In this case, the greatest common factor is 2. When I divide everything by 2, I get x squared minus 27 equals 0. Now that I've pulled out my greatest common factor, I want to see if it fits into the form of a cubed minus b cubed or a cubed plus b cubed. This is a difference equation. I have a minus. I do have x cubed, which is going to be my a cubed, and 27 is 3 cubed, so this does fit. So a cubed is x cubed, and b cubed is 27. So identify the a and the b. Take the cube root in this case for both. The cube root of x cubed is just x, and the cube root of 27 is 3. Since our formula is a cubed minus b cubed goes to a minus b, a squared plus ab plus b squared, we're going to plug that into our formula. So in the first set of parentheses, we have a minus b, so x minus 3. In the second set of parentheses, we first have to square our a value. So that's just x squared in this case, plus a times b. So 3 times x is 3x, plus b squared. 3 squared is really just 9. Okay, so that is our factored form here. And if we multiplied all of that out, we would, of course, get our 2x cubed minus 54. We also forgot to put our 2, bring that 2 down, that greatest common factor. So there, when we multiply everything out, we will get 2x cubed minus 54. Our last example is another cubes, but this is a sum of cubes. So move everything to one side of the equal sign. That's already been done for us. Step 2 is to look for a greatest common factor. Again, we don't have a greatest common factor. So see if the equation fits into the form of a cubed minus b cubed or a cubed plus b cubed. In this case, we do have an x cubed, so our a cubed equals x cubed. And 64 is 6. 4 cubed. Okay. Identify the a and the b value. So the cube root of x cubed, the cube root of x cubed is x, and the cube root of 64 is just 4. B squared then is going to equal 16 when we plug it into our formula. So our formula for sums, when we're adding at the beginning, is going to be our formula is a plus b, a squared minus ab plus b squared. So our a plus b says x plus 4, parentheses, a squared is going to be x squared minus a times b, so minus 4x, plus our b squared, which we found was 16. We had no greatest common factors, so there is no number that needs to go out front. Therefore, this is our final factored form. 4x cubed plus 64. That is the end. Make sure that you complete your classwork for the day.